Hi there, viewers. Today we've got a new show, more like the second time we are hosting the Author Question Challenge on P English Literature. This is more like a show that I love hosting for authors who have read quite a lot of their books just for the sake of fun and to ask them questions that I consider a bit hard that they won't be able to answer. It's more like a challenge. And it's pretty amazing that Craig has chosen to accept the challenge this time around. So, welcome, Craig.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know whether I'm mad or not accepting this challenge, but I'll give it my best go.
Yeah, and before I go, I would love to mention to the viewers and audience that I've read quite a lot of Craig Deegan's books. I've got 6 of his titles here with me. This is Far or Fall, which is the first book in the Cracklock Saga. Then I have The Locks of the Departed, the second book in the Cracklock Saga. All of this book, I'm going to be picking, I think, one question from each of them. Then here I have Alice and the Mirror Glass, which is the third book in the series. And we have here The Amazing Dear Sorrows, which is the fourth book in the series. And the other two stand alone, The Tale of Natalia Cracklock and Dorcas, which is most recently published. Yeah, so it's nice we're having this again, Craig.
Yeah, it's good to see you again.
Yeah. Now, I'd love to first start for my first question.
Okay.
Now, I'd love to ask you, Craig, who was the first and second character to use a glamour in the Cracklock Saga book series, and to whom was it used on? I'll repeat it again. Who was the first and second character to use a glamour in the Cracklock Saga book series, and to whom was it used on?
Oh, now that's who could that be? So being Faye or Foe. The first time Jack sees a glamour, it's not really the glamour, it's the travel room that Elsie opens up just after she's taken the glamour off him. I'm just trying to think who would be the first person to have the glamour on them. I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
I wonder if it's Anastasia or something like that. I'm just trying to wrap my brains because the tube things, they're not glamours, so it's not Janny, the little girl at the start of book 1. It's not Popkin who saves her, and then we're going into the Jack thing. That Mr. Binks doesn't use a glamour on him at all. I think, actually, saying that, it might be Fermi who uses the glamour, and he uses it to show Jack how glamours work with the capes flying around. Is that right?
Okay, that's actually very wrong, and I love the way you were moving, trying to figure out who exactly it is. But then the first and the second character to use a glamour in the Cracklock Saga book series, and to whom it was used on, it is Mr. Binks, and it was used on Jack, book 1, page 53. Then Aunt AC was the second person to use a glamour, and it was also used on Jack to restore his sight. Yeah, that goes for number 1.
I hate you.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. That's number 1 question gone. That's 0 mark. If you're gonna go with this, that's a 0 mark. Anyway, let's go to the second question. Hopefully you get this. Are you ready?
Let's try this one. Fire away.
Now, I'm a bit, I don't know. I think this might be a bit hard, but anyway, let's see how it goes. What was the first biblical quote made in the Cracklock Saga book series? What series was it made? Which character made it? And in what scenario was it made?
Okay, I think it was certainly in book 1 when the first biblical quote is. I can't remember what it was, and I think maybe was it Malaya saying it to Anastasia at the house when he comes out for the first time and he brings Dix with him, the imp. Is that right?
No.
Oh. Doing pretty well here, am I? Okay. Oh, these are rock hard. Okay. Let me have another go. Because I don't know if he quoted it or not. I'm sure it was one of the bad Cracklock. So it was either Malaya.
Yeah, you're correct saying it is in book 1. That's fine. Now we need to get which character made it, and in what scenario it was made.
Who made it? It'll either be Malaya or Anastasia. It'll be one of those two. And I'm just trying to think, will it be Malaya to Anastasia, or will it be Anastasia to Benedict? Okay, I'll have a second guess. It's Anastasia to Benedict.
Oh.
And it will be, I can't remember, I don't know what the quote is. The scenario will be something along the lines of him trying to stop him from nastily killing the Fae. Is that right?
That's wrong. And actually, you're fine. Anastasia and Benedict made some, they made some biblical recitation, but the first biblical quote made, Anastasia quote was more like towards the ending part of book 1 and towards the beginning chapter of, the Lost and the Departed. But the first character who made a biblical quote in the Cracklock Saga book series, it was Ephesians chapter 6, verse 11 to 16. It was made by Philippa based on Matthew's instruction in the chapel, and it is found on page 197.
Okay, so there's the Lost and Departed. It's Philippa. Yeah, gotcha. Right, okay, yeah. Got me with that one, I tell you. I think I need a gin and tonic, to be honest with you.
Oh my goodness, that's number 2 gone. Oh wow, okay. That's 0. Actually, my question is 9. I don't know if I'm gonna be adding one more to make it 10. But then let's go to the 3rd one. Hopefully, this will be fine.
Okay.
Ready?
Ready? Hit me.
Now, in what book series did the disappearance of David Cracklock become a talk and a thing of concern?
Okay. It was in book 3. Well, they talked about him disappearing in book 2, and they lost him after David and Sammy and the 4-year-old Jack and Dorcas had fled from the house. But it's in book 3 where it really is discussed, because that is when, well, there's the 2 parties come into it. There's the DOA, so Charles Peterson saying that he thinks he's messing about with the timeline, and also, let me get this right. So that's one aspect to it. But it's also David reveals himself to Nate in Vietnam that he's a time traveler from the 21st century, I think. It's in book 3, and it's first discussed by Alice when she's at the house telling the 2 what her grandfather has said. No?
It's quite fun. Well, I think, it's sometimes it's very funny how authors cannot remember what they've written, and of course it's fine. And I understand the fact that, we have a very good discussion concerning David's disappearance in book 3 and book 2. But it was first mentioned hilariously in Far of Hope, and it was since the beginning of the novel in page 90 of this book. It was discussed by AC concerning David
and Fermi in the bedroom with the door.
Absolutely, 11 years disappearance.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I know now. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
You're a rotter.
Oh my goodness, that's 3 questions gone.
You never know, I may well get a point, I may not, but hey. I was kind of asleep.
Wow, good. Now we're moving to my next question, Craig.
Okay.
Now I'd love you to identify this character and mention his or her or its name. Okay. Identify this character and mention, I love to classify the fairy as it. I don't know why, but I think it's about me. Then mention his or her or its name. A prominent character who played an integral role in book 1 and 2, but did not appear and wasn't mentioned at all in book 3. Who is it?
Oh
my goodness.
So there's a fairy that's mentioned in books 1 and 2, but isn't in book 3. Right. Oh God, that's a difficult one. Now I know Popkin is in book 1. I don't think I mentioned him in book 2. Granny is in book 3, so it's not her. Is it Mr. Binks?
Yeah, go ahead. There are 2, or let me say there are 3. Well, you got Mr. Beans correctly. That's actually very nice and thoughtful of you. But let's go on. We have 2 more characters. Go ahead.
2 more characters. Oh, okay. So books 1 and 2. Books 1 and 2, but not in book 3. Okay, so Mr. Binks, that's 1. No, all the gang are in book 3. I know that much. So there must be some characters. Is it the Lykovic? Did they mention the Lykovic?
The what?
The Lykovic, the big lawn monster that goes after Jack at the end of book 1.
No. I know about that.
No, it's not him. Okay. Is it the Red Caps? The goblins with the bloody hats?
No.
Okay. Right, so it's not those. Who is in book 1 and 2 that is not in book 3? I don't know, Peter.
Well, actually, you tried to have remembered Mr. Beans, because I know that's actually a very tough and difficult question. And while I was even setting up, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm not sure we'll be able to answer this, because this is about character who played an integral role in book 1 and 2, but did not appear at all and wasn't mentioned in book 3, and that is Mr. Beans and the Laffey twins, Marson and Tarly, hilariously.
Yeah, the Laffey twins aren't. Yeah, you're right. I mean, Tyler is in book 4.
Yeah,
they're not. Mainly they're not in because book 3 mainly takes place in America. Finished messing about and stuff, and it's a bit about the history of the family and stuff. So yeah, okay, fine. Can I have a half a point for that? Because I got Mr. Binks.
Absolutely, yeah. That'll be like that's like an half, yeah, and half. Hopefully, once we get another half, that would amount to 1.
Yeah, let's see if we can get a point.
Wow, that's actually amazing. That's really nice. Now I'd love to go to Dorcas, which is your most recent publication.
Should be okay on this.
Now, I think you should be able to answer this because it's most recent and it's a fresh memory. Anyway, let's see, but I think it's a bit tough. Okay. What page and chapter were Thaddeus Cracklock first mentioned in your most recent publication? What page and chapter was Thaddeus Cracklock first mentioned in your most recent publication? And we all know that Thaddeus Cracklock is one of the devils here in Dorcas. Very terrible and mischievous character. Also one of the prominent ones. So what chapter and page was Thaddeus Cracklock first mentioned in Dorcas?
Right, I can't tell you the page. I can tell you when it is. It's when they are in the Greyhound pub, when they first come up with the idea. It's the toppings in the Greyhound pub, and Thaddeus Cracklock is sat in the back, and it's the very last paragraph before it switches to what happens to Minty Fisher when he fights the thugs. And he says something along the lines of he would have to tell Great Mama or something about this development. So that is the first time he's mentioned. He's in the meeting in the pub. Now, as for what the title is, I don't know. I could look it up quite quickly, but I'm not going to because that's cheap. And no, it's not. It's time for something different. It's the one before that. What's the time? What's the name of that chapter? I can't remember the name of the chapter. I know when it is. I know when he's first mentioned it in the book, but I can't remember the title of the chapter. And as for the page, I have no idea.
Well, I know the page number can be a bit very hard, but then you're correct about the scenario where it was first mentioned. But then the first part, and it was in Hellfire. It was in the chapter titled Hellfire, and Thaddeus Cracklock was first mentioned in page 59. That was where I got to read about him the first. I was like, oh wow, this man, you're welcome. So I know that's a bit tough, but I'm not sure if that would amount to half. She didn't amount to half because you did not get the chapter, neither do you get the page, but you got the scenario. So I'm afraid about what we're gonna give you for that.
Zero. I didn't answer the question. I kind of answered. Well, I knew what it was. I just didn't know.
Yeah. My goodness.
Right. Okay. So we're on half a point still. Brilliant.
Yeah.
What is a point so far? Yeah, I'm doing really well here. Yeah, brilliant.
Now let's see. Hopefully you get this one. This will be my number 6 question so far for this question challenge quiz. Now, when AC was educating Jack about the story of the Cracklock family and Fairy in book 1, Far or Fall, she mentioned a book written by a man who claimed to have met Fairy and written about it. I'll say it again. When AC was educating Jack about the story of the Cracklock family and Fairy in book 1, Far or Fall, she mentioned a book written by a man who claimed to have met Fairy and written about it. What was the book title and the author's name?
Okay. It was a very old book. It was written in the late 1600s, and it was... It was the secret lives, the secret Commonwealth of Elves, Fauns, and Fairies, and it was written by the Reverend Robert Kirk.
Wow, amazing! That's a full question answered. Amazing.
Yeah,
that was amazing.
Yeah, it's quite a controversial book, that one. I tried to read it. It's very archaic, the language and things, but it fitted really well with the flow of the story. And I thought, yeah, we'll have that. So yeah.
Wow, that's perfect. This is the first time you're getting a 1.5 over so far. That's beautiful.
There we go. Right, so a little bit of pride now. Okay.
Wow.
Right. Okay. Now, buoyed up now.
Now we're moving to my next question, number 7.
Okay.
Now it goes like this. Was Marcia mentioned in book 3, Alice and the Mirror Glass? What's your answer to that? Is it yes or no? And now, if it is yes, how many times was it mentioned?
So in book 3, Malaya.
Yeah, Malaya.
Right. He was only mentioned in the last chapter, which was the bit where where Caiaphas releases him from wherever it is where the dire is. How many times was he mentioned? I know Agatha says Malaya at the end before they get her. Does Caiaphas? Yeah, he must say Malaya. I don't know. I'm going to go. Okay, so it's in the last chapter of book 3, and I'm going to go for 4 times.
Well, I think you actually tried, because Micaiah is like, it's really a prominent character in I think one of the books, and coming to book 3, I couldn't find him much there. And again, I agree with the fact that you mentioned one of the last chapters, but then he appeared actually in one of the last chapter, which is in page 352. But then he also appeared in page 117 in Alice and the Mirror Glass. So it was mentioned once in page 117 and also once in page 352. So that's like it was mentioned twice in the whole book series, which is very fun. Like it was written once in page 117, and Marcia was also mentioned once in page 352. So that really made for an interesting question when I saw it.
Yeah, he's mentioned a lot more in books 4 and 5. So
Yeah.
you've not seen book 5 yet, because I've nearly finished it, according to the realms. I'm hoping to have that out early next year. But yeah, he's certainly mentioned a lot in that. But
So
yeah,
that's great. And I think I'll have to give you half for that.
Sure. Okay. Thank you.
I'll have to give you half for that. So that's like 2 so far. Well, I think you tried.
I tried.
That's quite funny. Now, I'd love to go to my second to the last question.
Okay.
Who made this statement? In what series was it made? And to whom was the statement directed to? Who made this statement? In what series was it made? And to whom was the statement directed to? You will do what I say, or else your miserable existence and that of your hope of a father will be forfeit. Do you understand me? Do not want to make me ask you twice? I'll say that again. You will do what I say, or else your miserable existence and that of your hope of a father will be forfeit. Do you understand me? You do not want to make me ask you twice. Who made the statement? In what series was it made? And to whom was the statement directed to?
Right, okay. I think it was book 2, The Lost and the Departed, and I think it was Agatha talking to Jack. Is that right?
That's wrong.
Oh, okay. Oh, dear. Okay. So, your father, miserable, etc.
You wrote these things yourself, Craig, don't you?
Yeah, but there's over 500,000 words. Well, apparently I can't remember any of them if these questions are anything to go by. I wonder if it might be book 4. Beautiful to your father. No, I don't know. I can't tell you.
Okay.
I honestly don't know about that.
Well, you gave up on that. So it was made by Anastasia to the Lafayette twins, Tarley and Marsh and Marson in page 204 of Far or 4.
Yeah, so that's when she's bullying them into going to the house, isn't she? Yeah, okay. Fine. I need to stop these characters from being nasty about people's fathers.
Oh my good, and that's one thing I love about your writing. You have an amazing characterization. I love the way your characters talk, speak, behave, and relate to one another. Very fun.
Thank you.
Now this will be my last question.
Okay.
Shall I make it 10, but it makes it to be 9? It's a bit open, and I think maybe it's simple. I'm not sure. But then I'd love to ask you, how many characters were captured by the deer in Their Sorrows? How many characters was captured by the deer in Their Sorrows? And if possible, you can name them.
They pretty much all were, apart from Timothy. Okay, so from the main characters, or do you want the subsidiary ones as well?
Yeah.
Okay, right. So the main characters are Jack, Nate, Elsie, Dorcas, Popple, Sammy, there was Norbit, he was captured, and then Anastasia wasn't captured, Caiaphas was, Agatha was, Malaya was obviously captured because he was the key to all this. So that's the good and the bad ones. Nate was certainly captured. So it's easier probably to name the ones that weren't. So Anastasia wasn't, Tobias wasn't, Timothy wasn't, Peterson wasn't, head of the DOA, captured. So that's 4 who weren't, not for want of trying by the diet. Okay, so yeah, I think go with that. So I'll say the 4 that weren't captured were Anastasia, Tobias, David, and Peterson, and then there's the two DOA agents who are with David.
Yeah, yeah.
Davidson, Fisher, they weren't captured because they're but then pretty much everybody else was.
Absolutely, I was expecting you to say that.
Yeah, they pretty much all were.
Because the deer was spreading from one country to another. Yes. Overshadowing some country as it was moving, it was expanding. Even the UK president who was captured.
Yeah, and the US president got caught, the UK Prime Minister
got
caught. Yeah, he got them all. It's just going to be interesting to see how they beat it, because I've got three possible ways that they're going to beat it in book 6. I'm still deciding which one I want to choose, but it'll be fairly explosive. I think book 5 is certainly explosive. It's non-stop action pretty much.
Well, that's actually very fine, and I'm quite excited you got that correctly. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. So that's another point.
So that's 3.5 over. 3.5. That's 3.5, which I think is very amazing. That's 3.5. I'll say. And I think I should make it 10. I should add one more. What do you think?
Yeah, let's have it. Let's see if I can get 4.5.
Now, according to Amazon, what date was your first book found for published?
It was November 20. No, it wasn't. It was September 21st, 2021. Is that right? September.
Well, you got the month, you got the year, but you missed the date.
Okay. I'm not going to look it up because I was cheating. Yeah, it was certainly September, because or maybe it was Lost and Departed that was 21st of November. I know it released it very quickly after the first one. I'm going to, let me think. All right, is it the 11th of September 2021?
Oh my goodness, no. But that was so close.
Go on then, what was it?
It was September 14th, 2021.
Okay, yeah.
Well, that's fun actually. That's fun. And yeah, okay, this should go for 1/2, so that's 4 over 10. I think you tried.
40%. Marvelous. Thank you. Yeah.
Well, that's actually fun, and this comes to the end of my auto question challenge with Craig Deegan. It's pretty amazing how we can come up with this concept, ask questions about authors who have written books and stuff like that. And if you're an author, you would love to participate in this kind of quiz, you can reach out to me. But your book would have to be a fiction novel. Non-fictions do not qualify, poetry do not qualify, memoirs and historical other sort of things do not qualify. Only meant for fiction. Could be fantasy, could be science fiction, could be any other genre. Absolutely fiction. So, amazing, Craig, at 4 over 10 of this question, which I think is quite nice. That's a good one.
I was thinking this morning, I said, yeah, I'll get 10 out of 10 on this, won't be a problem. Oh, well, it looks like I need to read my own books again, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was actually fun, and it's really amazing we can do this.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you so much, Peter. That was a lot of fun. I got 4 out of 10. Oh, they're going to kill me.